How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It is currently the 17th of June 2021. It's been a while since I've posted a video. I kind of wanted to let the markets settle a little bit, especially with this recent small run on Bitcoin. I wanted to kind of see how the markets were going to react to this before I do anything. So I'm going to be going over Bitcoin today. CHSB I spoke about in the Smart Talk, which has just finished, which if anybody's watching this in the future, I guess would be irrelevant. But just a quick recap. Effectively, Swissborg is stuck between it's stuck between these two levels, which is what I was discussing in the Smart Talk. And I feel that we're probably going to see 60 cents again, maybe a little bit lower, just to kind of run below this low and dip into this area over here, which I'll make a note of with our funky little brush just here. Okay, so just be mindful of that, but the longer it stays here, the better it is for Swissborg in terms of an explosive move to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to Bitcoin, and what I was saying briefly in the last time, last time that I spoke about this, I made a reference to this run before it happened, as you guys know. And I put this circle down here, and I was saying sort of 30,000 to 28,000. This is where the open liquidity is, and it makes perfect sense that Bitcoin needs to go down there. And I'll just preface by saying it doesn't mean it will, okay? But this is where the open liquidity is. Okay, it's not resting liquidity, it's open liquidity that needs to be traded to. Okay, so even if Bitcoin runs and rips all the way back up to, let's say, 66,000, clears all-time highs, and then starts to go sideways, it would not surprise me at all if we get an insane flash crash that drops all the way down here, scoops up the liquidity between 30 and 28,000, and then rips all the way back up to the upside. I'm not saying that's just one very basic scenario of something that I'm just trying to really illustrate the point, right? That the open liquidity down here needs to be traded to. So I'm not completely convinced, that this small little run here did anything really. I think this is just, still stuck within its consolidation. And what's interesting, actually, what's very interesting about Bitcoin is that if we look here, the only place of imbalance or open liquidity, okay, is here and here. Even if we drop down to the lower time frames, we're not really seeing areas, right, where there is a lot of liquidity buildup. The first and only place that makes any sense in terms of upside is actually right here. So if we bring this all the way across and we put that back on the daily, I'll show you what that looks like. Let me get rid of this. This is the most important area in terms of upside, so that's around about 52,000. And I'll do this and I go across. So yeah, it's effectively here, which ties in quite nicely, to what we were already saying. So this is where the draw on price will be when price takes 30,000 to 28,000. Again, I'm not saying that that is going to happen. I'm just explaining what I see in the flows, what I'm seeing in the orders, with the way that price is moving around. And I want to clear something up really, really quickly. When I say when I'm seeing the orders, what I mean is, as price ran up and it hit this level and it started to move away, because I know what happened sort of all the way over here, and I'm tracking Bitcoin as it's going up, and I'm seeing, okay, it came down and it took this low and it took this low, and it rebalanced some of this, not all of it, but rebalanced some of this, and then it started to run. It took out this high. This is telling me the flow. It's telling me that it's accumulation to the buy side, it's distribution to the sell side on the upside as it's going up, and so on. And then as it starts to slow down and blah 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 blah, it's doing all of this stuff. So when it hits this level, I already know, that it's slowed down here, and now it's picking up sell liquidity. That's what I'm saying when I say I see the orders. Because I'm tracking the orders all the way up to this point, not the actual orders, the liquidity. So my job is to just figure out whether Bitcoin's accumulating to the buy side or accumulating to the sell side. The rest is all just, it's just a question of experience and being able to see this on the chart, which it can get quite complicated, but When you become experienced at anything, it's like second nature, I guess. So to go back to what I was saying, I'm not convinced, that this little move that happened here. There was some news, people were getting excited, and my tweet, and I'll just quickly go over this because I want to be absolutely clear what I actually said. I put 40k to 41k is key. If price gets and stays above these levels, should be an interesting week ahead. I'm not convinced just yet, but hopeful, as this will help the overall market, including CHSB. Okay, and that was my first tweet. The second tweet was Bitcoin running a little while everything else is almost doing nothing. Until the rest of the market starts to show commitment to move, I'm doing nothing. I'm happy to wait and miss the move, then commit and be wrong. And then I put hashtag caution. So I do my best to try and put out relevant content or relevant information when it's relevant. I'm not always posting all the time like some people do. I try to avoid that. I just want what's relevant at the time, and you'll notice almost all the time when I post content in the Discord chat, Twitter, YouTube video, it's generally just before something starts to happen. Yeah. So, just be cautious on Bitcoin. We need to see an overall market push, whether it's lower or higher. It doesn't matter. We need to see volumes coming into the market, participants, and we need to see a bit more, involvement from everybody, so to speak, because then we will see that across the full spectrum of cryptocurrencies, including, all asset classes, really. But everything's slow. Everything's quite slow. Everything's slowed down. So any movement really on Bitcoin for me, I need to see big money step in, and I need to see it strong, big, explosive movement, an impulse move. If we don't see that, then we're kind of just going nowhere. And the 30,000 to 28,000 still stands for me. The most important thing for me as an investor and as a trader, or trader first and then an investor, because I'm more of a trader than I am an investor, is it really doesn't matter, because I have the level, I know, and as you guys know and I've said many times, I don't do anything until price does what I am seeing it should do. Yeah, doesn't mean it will, but unless it does what I'm seeing it should do, then I can't do anything. I'm quite happy to just sit here. If Bitcoin goes sideways for the next 10 years, it really makes no difference to me. Until it comes down here, it's not just a random level. I'm not just picking 30,000 to 28,000 because it's just the price that I want to get a better average, or to pick up Bitcoin cheap. It's got nothing to do with that. It's very specific. It's very thought out. It's very methodical process that I go through to arrive at the level that I do. And then I sit back and I wait. I know exactly from this point all the way up to this point, the levels that I'm paying attention to, what I want to see, how I want to see it. And as it's unfolding, I will adjust, the tools that I have, and I will adjust which tools that I'm using, which concepts I'm using at the time, to get the best out of what Bitcoin is doing at that moment. And the most important is preserving capital and making sure that I'm disciplined enough to not do anything until I see what I should be expecting on Bitcoin. So that's Bitcoin. There's not really much else to discuss, guys. I'm not really seeing much of anything in terms of the overall market. Like I said, it's slow, it's quiet, and it won't stay like this. We will start to see some pickup at some point. I believe in the next sort of week or so, maybe 2 weeks, we should start to see a little bit of volume come into the market. We'll probably slow down again for the summer months, and then during sort of the fall, sort of end of August, sort of September and October, we should start to see some pretty good movement all around. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. I hope everybody's having an awesome day as always, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do, because it really does help. Please like the video, or don't like it, it's up to you. And leave comments, guys. I always appreciate the comments, both positive and negative. I'm always up for feedback. And if anybody's got something to say to me personally, or you want to ask me a personal question, head over to the Smart Talks. They're always on Thursdays, 6:30 GMT time. My good friend Ben, he does the first part. I co-host with Ben, so he does the first part with a particular subject that he wants to talk about on the day. loads of information. He does a lot of research on the stuff he discusses. So there's always something to learn. And then I talk about CHSB analysis, and I go through some ideas. I try to put up as much educational content in there as I can. So if you're up for learning and you want to ask some questions, either of us, both Ben and myself, we're always welcoming with questions. We'll always answer all questions, and we always hang around till all questions are answered. So you're more than welcome to join that. And yeah, that's it. So take care, guys. I will catch up with you in the next video, and I will speak to you soon. All the best.